Hey, everybody. For those that don't know, this is my husband, Frederick Brown. He is the peanut butter to my jelly. uh, he's saying that his computer right there, his camera is not good. He has a yellowish tint on his, but I feel that we can get training from different places. And what really stemmed this training, I will tell you, he and we were talking, and then he replied to my comment, I am paparazzi. And I looked at him and I said, well, let's go full force. You guys, my husband is extremely intelligent. I love him. He breaks things down to where I just give an overview. And I believe, since I'm so much into different personalities, that if what I can't give across, that I believe that he can. He sat back, he's watched me, he's been an excellent helpmeet in regards to this business. He doesn't overstep me, except when it comes to buying a lot of jewelry.
Amen.
I was waiting on the amen. But so don't worry, y'all. We all get it. With no further ado, this is Mr. Frederick Brown, Fred Brown to some. My bae. Go ahead, honey.
Thank you, baby. Welcome, everybody. This is the first of, I don't know how many episodes we're going to do at this point. So I label this Start Your Empire. That will be the main topic of all future videos. And this just happened to be part one, which I subtitled Rock Your Business Like a Bling Boss. That's what this is all about. Now, I hope I'm recording. It looks like I hit record. And if I didn't, we're going to have a problem. But if it says stop recording, that must mean I am recording, but I don't see anything that says I am other than that. So without further ado, I'm going to continue on. I'll ask that it looks like everyone has their audio muted. If you have any questions, feel free to jump in, unmute, and jump in and ask questions. But what I'm going to try and do today is I'm going to try and break this thing down in its simplest forms. It can be a little overwhelming, a little intimidating when you hear people talk. You know and believe the potential. But when they talk about buying jewelry and at some of the volume, using the terms that Paparazzi use in terms of PV, personal volume, and OV, organizational volume, sometimes that can get overwhelming when you actually look at the numbers. But I'm going to break this thing down very simple. Now, I would like to provide, and what I'm trying to do today is provide a roadmap for you and your team members. Now, I need you to look at this thing. I need you to look at this thing from you on down. We're not going to look up. We're not looking at the upline. We're not worried about what anybody else is doing. This is about you tonight. I don't care where you are in the organization. It doesn't matter. It starts with you. So everything I show, it says you. I'm talking about you. Okay? No matter who you are. All right? So without further ado, let me just go ahead and move on. First thing you need to do. One second. Why my screen didn't change? I guess I got to manually do it. Okay. First thing you need to do is decide what you want from paparazzi. Now, this is what you need to do, and honestly, this is what you need to ask all your new recruits. You know, even when you're talking to them in the beginning, because you need to know where they're coming from. In addition to using the different profiles that my wife has shared with you, learning different personalities, knowing what questions to ask. But there are two essential things that you need to know in terms of what they want to get out of paparazzi. One is, do they want to make money from unearned income, or do they want to make money just selling jewelry only? And then you got some of those that want to do a combination of both. And it makes a big difference. Now, you can make money both ways. You can make money all three ways. So what I'm sharing with you today is a roadmap to making money all three ways. And again, we're looking from you down. This is going to be your roadmap. Okay. Now, one thing, I got two computers going on here. All right, bear with me. Watch, it's not scrolling down. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, now we know I got before me is you can go in your back office and pull out your rank sheet. I forget what it's called in your back office, but under resources, you got a chart, a ranking chart. Shows you how to rank, what you need to rank. Those numbers can be a little intimidating and probably not completely understood. But I'm going to break this thing down for you. Now, what I want you to do, and I need you to realize this: when you first signed up, you were a consultant. You became a star consultant when you signed up, and you had your first 50 PV. You were a star consultant. Well, after that, you were tasked with getting 3 new recruits, because things don't really begin to happen until you get 3 new recruits, active recruits. Right? That's when you become a director. That's when the ball game changes. Okay, that's what we want to talk about. Right? So now, what I want you to do is think about it this way. I want you to think about growing your team and how you want to run it, whether you want unearned income, as I said before, or just with sales only. All right. So now, with earned income, unearned income, that comes with team building. So that's what this is all about tonight. It's team building. What I want to do is try to help you realize how important it is to duplicate yourself, and then to help those below you duplicate themselves. That's what this team building thing is all about. And that's the fundamental key to success in paparazzi. Fundamental. Now, you also need to decide if you want to achieve any personal goals. Now, I have a few listed here. Some of the personal goal options. One is fashion fix, especially up to, I gotta look at my sheet here, up to Premier Director. Getting 50 PV a month automatically allows you to meet your personal obligations to stay active within paparazzi. Okay, up to Premier Director. Then after Premier Director, the qualification requirement goes up to 100 PV. But we're not gonna worry about that right now. So this is a goal that you need to set for yourself in the beginning. Decide if you want to use fashion fix as one way of achieving that goal. Another goal you may want is to become a club member. Listening to my wife, there's a Club 5, Club 10, Club 25, Club 50, and etc. And what this is you looking down your team, having 5 active members for 3 consecutive months, or 10 active members for 3 consecutive months, 25, and so forth. These are milestones, and these are goals that you can achieve within paparazzi, and they come with certain accolades that I guess they like shout outs or benefits at convention if you ever happen to make it that way. And then another option, another
Honey,
goal, yes.
those are personally sponsored, not just active team members. They're personally sponsored.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. Personally sponsored, 5, 10, 25, and so forth. Right. Then another personal goal could be making life of the party. Now, when you look at this, life of the party, it got 5,000 PV requirement, life of the party bronze, that is, and life of the party silver, 10,000 PV, life of the party gold, 15,000 PV, life of the party platinum, 25, and then there's some other levels. But I'm just going to stop with those. Now, you understand, I'm sure, being a paparazzi consultant, that PV, you get 2 PV for every piece of jewelry, right? So that means that every jewelry you sell, every piece counts for 2 PV. So 5,000 PV is actually 2,500 pieces of jewelry. I'm sure you know that. And if you don't, now you do. And so you take all those numbers divided by 2, and they tell you how many pieces of jewelry that you need. Now, this is the requirement to meet those goals within a 52-week period. The fiscal year for paparazzi starts July 1st, ends June 30th. So you got a whole year to reach this goal. So what I'm going to do in the following slides is I'm going to break this thing down, and I'm going to use Life of the Party Bronze 5000 PV as my subject for doing this, right? I want to show you just how simple this is. 2,500 pieces of jewelry. You may say, wow. Now, I know we have some other people in the organization that have done that. Some have done silver, some have done gold, and those are great, great achievements. But for those of us that have not done it and whose funds may not be at the level that they can go out and buy that amount of jewelry, I understand that. But what I'm going to show you now is I'm going to bring this thing to you in a different light, right? In its simplistic state. And you're going to see how you can do this. I'm going to show you how to do this. Real simple, real easy. You just got to be committed to doing. What do we talk about? What is one of the requirements of being successful in paparazzi? Is being consistent, right? All right, so let's continue forward. In this example, I've used 5,000 PV. As I said, that's 2,500 pieces of jewelry over the 52-week period from the fiscal year July 1st through June 30th. That's paparazzi's fiscal year, as I said. So now what I've done is, it seems like a lot, and I wanted to do this for those that may go back and may not want to listen, or may get confused and lost when I'm going through this. So if I show you the steps that I took, you can go back and look at it for yourself. And if you get lost along the way, you ask a question. But 2,500 pieces of jewelry divided by 52 weeks, that's a full year. That requires you to purchase 48 pieces of jewelry every week. 48 pieces of jewelry every week you need to purchase. Now, what I say, and what I have written there, is to go ahead and buy 50 pieces instead of 48, because for every 10, you get a free item. So there's no need of buying 8 and leaving 2 on the table and you don't get anything free. But anyway, you're going to see this in a second. So now this equates to buying 50 pieces of jewelry every week in a 4-week time period. Enables you to purchase 200 pieces of jewelry in a week. And now also keep in mind, I know that you got 2 months in the year where you got 5 weeks. But I'm just doing everything based on 4 weeks. Gonna keep it simple. So 4 weeks times 200, 4 times 200 gives you 400 PV that you would achieve by using this method. Now that still may sound like a lot. Let me continue to break this thing down. So if you buy the 10, like I suggested, at your wholesale rate of $2.75, that's $27.50 per day that it costs you. That seems like a lot. Okay, maybe it is. You multiply that by 5 days per week, because you can go online and purchase jewelry Monday through Friday, every day of the week. You can't buy it on Saturday and Sunday, but Monday through Friday you can. So that's going to be your buying time. So you got $27.50 for 5 days that you need to do this. 5 times 27.50 is $137.50 for the first week. Now, listen to me. Because the people that I'm talking to that are on here now are already a part of Paparazzi, and some of the new recruits, they'll be coming in with the $99 package. I'll address that in a second after I'm finished with this. But where you are now, that means you already bought into the system. You already have jewelry. Now, what I'm going to show you, in the next few steps, you can take the jewelry you already have and move forward and not output that $137.50 yet. Okay, I'm going to show you that. But if you want to output that $137.50, you can. Now, this is for the first week. Okay, now watch how we do this. Now you have your 50 pieces, right? Plus your 5 free pieces, because you get 1 for every 10. Now you got 55 pieces of jewelry, right, for the first week, which amounts to a retail value of $302.50. That's selling it at $5.50 per piece. Okay, that actually is a 50% increase. You sell you 45% because you're charging tax. Now, to recover your $137.50 that you spent the first week, okay, or if you let's do that. Let's recover the $137.50 you spent the first week. You spent your own money, right? That means you need to sell. That's $137.50 divided by what? $5.50 is your retail cost. So it means you need to sell 25 pieces that week. 25 pieces gets you your $137.50. Okay? Now, you can buy jewelry 5 days, but you can sell it for 7, right? So if we take those 25 pieces of jewelry, divided by 7, you get 3.6 pieces per day is what you need to sell. But we know we can't sell 6/10 of a piece of jewelry. That doesn't make sense, right? So that means you need to sell anywhere between 3 to 4 pieces of jewelry per day. Now, I've broken that down. 3 to 4 pieces of jewelry per day. What does that mean? Well, that's $21 times 3, not counting 50 cents. Or if I sold 4 at $5 per day. Did I say that right? I said 3 at $15, no, $15, right? Or $20. When you add your tax in, it could be $16.50 and $22 is what we do because we're doing $5.50. So that means that's the amount of money you can sell per day. Now, I've seen some of you go online at selling your jewelry and you do extremely well. When I say extremely well, even if you sold 5, 6, 7 pieces, I mean, hey, you just made it for that day, right? That's what you do. And that is less intimidating, I think, if you think about it in those terms. Now, let's think about what I just told you. If you sell 3 to 4 pieces of jewelry per day, some days it's going to be more, some days it's going to be less, but it averages out to be 25 pieces that you sell in a week. In a year's time, you just made life for the party. You didn't do anything differently. You didn't have to go out and spend any extra money. You got this thing on lock. You got a routine, right? And if you keep it simple in how you think about it, in terms of the number of pieces that you sell, but you apply consistency with doing it, it makes a big difference. Okay? So now let's go a step further. Now watch this. Now you have 55 pieces of jewelry because we're assuming you didn't start with anything. That's kind of the way I started this thing off. Now because you ordered your 50 plus your 5, you got your 55 pieces. Now you sold 25. Now we're going into week 2 because you got to sell your 25 to generate your $137.50 that you're gonna need for week 2 for the next week to buy your jewelry. So you're not coming out of your pocket anymore, right? We just sold 25 pieces for the week. Now those 25 generate enough income for the next week for me to go buy another 50 pieces. And the next 50 pieces, another $137.50. Now, what do we have left? Well, we got 55 the first week. We had to sell 25. So now I got 30 pieces left. Now look at what's happening. Now I done bought inventory for the next week and I got 30 pieces of jewelry. Now I'm building my inventory while I'm selling and generating money to become life of the party and generating 400 PV per month and staying active per month automatically. You follow that? All right. Now, week 2 is what I just said. You go through, you do all of that. And then at the end of week 2, let's go into week 3. Now, week 3, you got the 30 pieces left over. We're just going to keep this process up. What we talk about? Consistency. We're going to keep this up. How many are we selling? 3 to 4 a day. Some days a little bit more, some days a little bit less. So it averages out 25 a week. We stay consistent. You know, one week you might sell the whole 25 in a couple of days. Well, do you stop? No, you keep going. All right? You keep going. But I'm trying to show you the bare minimum right now. We're looking at the bare minimum that's going to get you to these levels. That's going to put a tremendous amount of money in your pocket. Now, I'm going to show you a couple more things, and then I'm going to tie it all together. But for right now, I'm just showing you, I need you to understand where this 400 PV per month is coming from. And if you think about what I just showed you, 3 or 4 per day, taking that money, flipping that money, reinvesting in the company, building your inventory, then you're going to see that 400 PV per month is easy to achieve. Life of the party bonds is easy to achieve. You can achieve it without any effort at all, a little effort at all, okay? And it's not intimidating. Now, let's see. Let's go. I'm at week 3. Got 30 pieces left. So for the next week, you're going to do the exact same thing. You buy 50 pieces, right? From the 25 that you sold. You're going to get 5 free. Now you got 85 pieces in your inventory, which has a retail value of $467.50. All right, so guess what you're going to do? You're going to sell 25 pieces for the following week so that you can reinvest for the following week, right? So you're going to do that, right? So now, once you do that, 25 is deducted from your 85 that you've accumulated. So now you got 60 pieces of jewelry that you're going to carry over to the following week. Consistency. And that 25 that you just sold is going to finance your $137.50 for the next week. No more money out of your pocket. You just working your business. It's consistency. You just working your business. Now, I hope you see what's happening here. All right. You're building your inventory as you continue to reinvest your weekly earnings that own in only that initial investment. That initial investment. Okay. And in most of your cases, since you are have already been in Paparazzi, you already got the pieces to sell, so you really don't have to put any more money in it right now. If you follow what I'm saying, okay? So let's go on. Now, okay, I'll skip over. Now, what I want you to do, I just showed you the first 2 or 3 weeks. Now I broke this down. I didn't continue to go on. I went ahead and did the math. You can go back and use the same techniques that I did from the previous 2 slides to see where I came up with these numbers. I want you to continue this process, and then for the 3rd and 4th week, and then when you get to week 4, you see what I have here. You're gonna have 140 pieces of inventory worth $770. You financed your business over the last 4 weeks by using the techniques that I just showed you, right? Now you're on track to achieve Life of the Party Bronze and all of its benefits. I just need you to let that marinate for a second, okay? Now, this is valuable. Watch what happens next. As you recruit, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna show your new recruits how to do this the exact same way you just did it. But watch this, because you had this opportunity when you signed up for $99. If you signed up for $99, I think most people probably do. You show your recruits how to set themselves up for Life of the Party out the gate. Now they're not gonna understand what Life of the Party is. You don't even have to go into a lot of detail. But when you show them this process, once they really get in and understand what's going on, they're gonna realize and see that they're already on track for Life of the Party Bronze without even knowing it, right? Now you can show these things at a later date, but this is what you do. Same thing that I'm showing you. This is your tool. This now becomes your tool, your selling tool, your marketing tool, your strategy for building what I'm saying, looking down your empire. We're not looking up. We're not worried about our upline. We're not worried. I'm gonna talk about up down a little bit.
I don't know. Something must have happened.
No, yeah, my computer went off. You know, I'm in a hotel room when I get kicked offline.
Oh, okay.
And I thought I had booted so I wouldn't have this issue. Hope people are still on the line.
We still here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wait a minute.
But your stuff went away. Everybody else can mute themselves, so we're not hearing the background noise. But I can tell you that Nia just said that you are a really good teacher, and I gotta say to you, that's where I guess we balance one another, because you broke this thing down so people can actually see if they put forth just a little bit of effort. Because when you get your kit, and I do recommend people to start with the $99 kit, but when you get your kit, that's coming with 35 pieces right there. So technically, and so many people get excited because they end up telling us, hey, I sold this many pieces out of my kit. I did this out of my kit, so on and so forth. Literally, they can take that money and start Life of the Party. And I think the way that you're breaking this down is how I'm going to break it down for everyone that comes on, especially under me, to put them on the track of. Because I think in their minds, it gets overwhelming because they'll place an order, but this has to come all together. You have to be able to sell it. And, you know, I was tickled because even Carice today took it to the doctor's office. So we can order 7 days a week. Only the new releases come out Monday through Friday, but you can still order over the weekend.
Okay, baby. I don't want to interrupt you, babe, but I need to continue on because I don't want to lose them, and I don't want them to, if they come.
I'll be the obedient wife and be quiet.
All right. So if I broke up, and I apologize, I am in the hotel and my internet cut off on me, so I got back on, and it looks like I'm still recording. So hopefully we can continue forward. I was talking about new recruits. Okay. And the new recruits, I was starting in. This is what you share with your new recruits, right? All right. So when you sign them up, you have them go in and place an order, and while they wait for the kit, they can go in and order more jewelry. Now, I suggest you don't really. Sometimes you may or may not know what someone's situation is financially. They may not have the funds necessary to go in and buy more jewelry. Well, you have to be more understanding about it, and that's okay because you got to meet people where they are. Okay, some people have the resources available to go in and buy more, and some don't. So let's assume they don't have the resources available. Let's just make that assumption because everything I'm doing right now, I want to show you worst case, okay? And the minimal amount of effort that it takes to build this empire. That's what this is all about. And for those that can do more, that means it'll just happen faster, okay? That's all that means. All right, so now for the new recruit, when they buy the $99 kit, you know, they get the 35 pieces. And sometimes there's some promotions. You got some additional pieces in there. So I'm just going with the 35 for right now, right? So that's valued at times 550, of course, with the tax. That's $192.50 value. Now, listen to this, all right? You got to share this with them. Listen to this. If they pull their startup money out, $100, and keep the number simple. If they pull, once they get their kit, they got the 35 pieces. If they sell all 35, they pull their $100 out. That's what they started with the business with, okay, excluding tax. They pull the $100 out. That's a profit of $92.50 just for joining and working the business. Now they have a business with no investment because they pull their money out. There is no, there is no, what is the word I'm looking for? Exposure, I guess, if you will. There is no exposure because they pull their resources out, they pull their money out if they so desire. Okay, so now they're working with a zero baseline. Now watch what happens. They say they do it in the first week. Week 2. Now this $92.50 that they pulled out from their investment, from their profit, from their investment. If you divide that by $2.75, which is your wholesale price, right? That means that you are capable of buying 34 pieces of jewelry with the profits after you pull your initial investment out. If you leave your initial investment in and say, hey, I'm just going to keep going with it, you can buy more. But worst case, let's just assume you don't, right? So now you got 34 pieces of jewelry that you can purchase at wholesale. Now, I would encourage them to order 40, not 34. Why? Because you get one free for every team. So why waste that 4? Go ahead and get 40. I would encourage that. That's another $16.50, $16.50, I think it is, when I did the math, that they could expend to buy 40 pieces instead of 34, right? So then that gets them 4 pieces free, which has then a retail value of $242. Okay? Now, again, that's what they got in their pocket sitting at home now. Now, watch this. Remember from the Life of a Party Bronze example we just talked about, where you only need to sell 3 to 4 a day, right? This is what your new recruit's going to do. This is going to be their new goal. This is what you're going to teach them, right? So that, again, that still equates to only 25 per week. The process begins here because the new recruits now, they got the 44, right? The initial investment, they sold, they bought 40 pieces, they got 40 free, so now they got 44 minus 25. Why 25? Because 25 sold at wholesale, 3 to 4 pieces per day. So the wholesale is what they need to generate that $137.50 for the next week. So they can buy how many? 50. The same thing you did with Life of the Party, right? So now they're on track for buying 50 pieces for the next week. I'm sorry, 25. What is it? 25. Okay, $137. So there's gonna be 50 pieces for the next week. Plus they get the 5 free. So for the week 2, guess what? Now guess what? From thereafter, they're gonna employ the same technique that you were just taught about Life of the Party Bronze. Can you see now how they're on the same track as you? What was that initial investment? Theirs was $99. They sold their 35. They got their $99 back, and they used the profit to go into the business. Now they're able to do this without any money out of their pocket. This is free money right now for them. They got to understand this, and they got to apply this, right? This is powerful, people. This is really powerful, and I hope you get this. All right. So now they're going to do the same thing as you. So after 5 weeks or so, the new recruit would be on the path to generate 400 PV per month, same as you. Ooh, let that marinate. I get excited when I start thinking about that. But watch this. It's going to get deep. All right. So your new recruit comes in. You are generating 400 PV, and guess what? You, because you now director, that means you got 3 people active, and they're going to be active because they generate 400 PV using the technique you taught them, right? So that keeps them active all month long. It keeps it going. So now you've just generated 1,200 PV just on those 3 right. Come on now. Okay, so you just generated 1,200 PV just then. So what we're going to do, now watch this. That's you and your 3 recruits and then your director. So what are you going to do? Are you going to stop at that point? No, you're going to keep going. Why? Because that's what this is all about. You're going to go laterally or horizontally, right? You're just going to keep talking to people. You're just going to keep sharing the business. And I'm going to show you this in a second. So let's say you get another 3, right? Is that possible? Yes, possible. Some of you got more than that. G got over 60, about 65 on her front line. That's their front line, the first direct recruits. Those are in your front line. So you're going to always talk to people about the business. And everyone you talk to about the business, you're going to share these strategies and these techniques. And this is what's going to keep them motivated, what's going to keep them active, it's going to keep them going, but it gets deeper. Watch this. 6 is that unrealistic. I'm trying to use realistic numbers. I'm trying to show you a realistic path for achieving these extraordinary goals. Watch this. All right. So now I just generate another slide. I also have to admit that I'm not proficient with this PowerPoint because there's some other things I wanted to do, and I was flicking around running out of time. Of course, I had work to do today, so I really couldn't get this chart the way I wanted to. So I just did 10 across. So now I just want you to see this. If you went horizontally and you got 10 people and you shared this strategy with them, and they took it in, they understood it, and they implemented it and made it work for themselves, right? That would be 10 times 4. That's 4,000 PV. Guess what that is for you? You, again, who am I talking to? The people, and you're looking down. Who am I talking to? What does that do for you? 4,000 PV, boom, you just got promoted. Now you're a premier director. Did it take anything extraordinary to happen for you to become premier director? Did you have to beat on anybody's head for the month? I need you to go by this, I need you to go by that. No, because you just instilled in them a strategy for making this work. You just instilled in them how to pull their money out, their initial investment out, and how to make that and flip that money and make it work for them. You just showed them that technique. All they got to do is sell how many? 3 to 4 a day, 25 a week average. That's all. That's all they got to do. It's just that simple. Some days more or less. So can you do it every day? Maybe, maybe not. One day you might do 3, next day you might do 10, then you might do 5. But so at the end of the week, if you got in 25, you can make it happen. I hope you see where I'm going with this. Okay. Now watch this. I'm going to go back because in my example, I showed you 10 up here, but I'm going to go back and I'm going to just assume that you, again, looking down, I'm talking to you are the person that's on top. You personally recruited 6 people on your front line. Now, what I want you to see, let me say this before I go on. If you, let me back up a second. If you take this and say, okay, no, I don't want to work with the team. No, I'm just going to go out here and do this myself. You have that selfish mentality, right? Paparazzi is not set up that way. You can make money, but you're not going to do as well as you could if you share this and not be a crab, but look down and say, hey, I need to help my brother. I need to help my sister. Let me pull them up. If you do that and you get self out of it, oh, we're all flourish. Okay, we'll all flourish. But if, let's say you said, okay, no, I'm not going to do it. I want 100 people on my line and you got all of them to do this. And that's all you had. Well, guess what? You can still rank up. At 100 people, if all of them did that to 400 PI, again, the 1/3 rule, which doesn't apply here because we got balanced legs. So we're not going to have a main issue here. So that means all of those 400 PV becomes organizational volume for you. 100 times that 100 people times the 400 gives them 40,000 OV. Gives you 40,000 OV, and that'll get you to executive producer. Okay, all right. Yay! Let me just show you really how this thing should work. Okay, because we're not going to be selfish in this organization. That's not what we're doing. Because what are we doing? We are looking down and we're trying to help my brothers and my sisters. And then I want you look down, you're gonna have everybody below you. And from at least from us, I can speak from my perspective. I can't speak from the people above us. Some are, I mean, we know some of them will help. But as far as Fred and G right here, when we looking down, you on our team, we helping you. Okay? We are. All right. So let's go on. Let me show you this. Now watch this. Let's backtrack instead of 10 because I broke this thing down with 6. So I'm just gonna back out a few people and say, okay, you personally recruited 6 people. And then and each one of those people you share this opportunity with. And guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna do the exact same thing you're gonna do. But are they gonna do it alone? Absolutely not. Why? Because you are gonna help them because you now understand. Now, as your first recruit here, you're gonna tell your first recruit over at the bottom on the left, look here, I've shared this with you. This is what you gotta tell the people below. But guess what? I'm there to help you. And guess what? Guess who's there to help me? My upline, Fred and G. Right? No matter how many levels up we are, that's what we're gonna do. Because it's all about growing this thing, right? So now let's assume, watch this assumption. So if you believe what I just said, you recruit 6 people, you realize that's not unrealistic. So guess what each of those first recruits going to do? They're going to duplicate you. That's your goal to get them to duplicate you. Charlotte, please mute your phone. They're going to duplicate you, right? So if they duplicate you, now notice I got 1A, 1B, 1C. I didn't have enough room and all the other stuff going on. But let's just assume they did. So that means they got 6. Okay. I want you to see. Hey, G, can you see my mouse move? Is my mouse moving?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. So even though I showed 3 here, but I need you to keep in mind that what I'm saying is they're going to duplicate you. So just imagine there's 6 other people. And then the second person you recruited, guess how many they're going to do? They're going to do 6 as well. Then this third person, they're going to do 6. And so on and so forth. When they get the first 3, guess what? They're going to be directors. So now I got 6 on my front line that duplicated themselves, and they got 6. So guess how many I got on my second line? Looking down, I got 36 people on my second line. And I got 6 people on my first line. Did you have to do a lot? No. What are you doing in the meantime? You're buying, you're selling your 3 to 4 a day. You're buying, you're accumulating your inventory. And why? Guess what? We got a place for you to sell your inventory. You can sell some online. If you start accumulating enough inventory, you bring it out to the mall, right? We're gonna have places for you and opportunities for you to get rid of this inventory and make even more money. Okay, this thing just compounds itself. I really hope you see this. Right? So that means I got 36. So if I got 36, I did the math here. If I got 36 on the second line, all right, I get down here. I got 36 on the second line. You see this right here? 36 on my second line times 4 in PV. That's 14,400 OV that I got from my second line. Plus, I still got my first line. Because the first line, I got 6. Remember my backtrack, because initially I said 10. Let's use 6 as a number, okay? I'm going from 6. So I got 6 on my front line. And that's generating 2,400 PV, each of them, right? So when you add those together, you get 16,800 OV. That makes you a producer. I just showed you got the word twice already. What have you done? You still buying your 3 to 4 pieces of jewelry. You're sharing your opportunity. You're teaching your people to do the exact same thing. This thing, you're growing. You are growing. And you're continuing to do the same thing. Growing. Because everybody understands that concept. Okay, that's what a power is. It comes in a duplication, but it's not just duplication. It's understanding the duplicated process that I'm trying to lay out for you. Okay, that I have things written out for a reason because I'm going to share these PDF with you so you can have it in your inventory. You can look at it, you can go back, and you can play with it. You know, until you really understand it. All right. So I want to go down one more line. I just showed you 2 lines, right? I showed you 2 lines here. Let's go down one more line. Now, some of you got multiple lines of people. Right? So we know it's possible. And you know it's possible because you've seen it. And your legs might not be balanced, but we're going to just make assumption they're going to be balanced because we're teaching our people these strategies and techniques to keep it balanced. So if we keep it balanced, we don't ever have to worry about the 1/3 rule. We'll always make it. Okay? The problem comes is when you got one leg that grows like crazy and then nobody else is growing, then your 1/3 comes into play. We're not going to have that because everybody can understand the strategy and we're going to all be in the same ballpark. So that'll never be an issue. But anyway, I want to go down one more line because I want you to see this thing. Okay? Let me give you a dope motion real quick. Watch this. Can't help myself. All right, so we're duplicating ourselves. Now you're on the third line. The second line I said had 36 people. Now the third line has 36 people. Third line had 36. Did I say that right? Or did I mess that up? 6, 36. I said that wrong. I had to go back and type that. That should be the second line has 36 people, right? The six. I got third, but now the second line has 36 people that we're teaching this technique to, right? They each have 6, same thing. So that's 36 times 6. So that makes my third line. I should have been second up here. That makes my third line now from under the on. That makes my third line now 216 people, because each of those 36 gets recruited 6. Is that impossible? Absolutely not, because they're using the same technique, the same strategies, selling 3 to 4 a day, buying 25, making it 25, generate $137 that they're reinvesting in the business. So this is still realistic. This is still a possibility, a reality that we're trying to implement into our business strategy. Okay, so 36 times. Okay, so that means that all of whom are managing to generate 400 PV each as they qualify for Life of the Party bronze. Now look what we got. Third line, we got 216 people. Second line, we got 36 people. I said third, second, and then the first line, we got 6 people. That's 258 people. 258 people that's generating 400 PV each. Now watch this. That's 103,200 OV. Fashionista, baby. Fashionista. At 258 people. Now I need you to let that marinate, because we got over 300 people on our team, and we ain't fashionista. Ain't even close. But that's okay, because I've developed a strategy that's going to make it. I'm not talking about me. I need you to see this, right? Because from this day forward, when we share these opportunities, you are looking down. So I'm talking about you, right? Let's get this thing. I'm talking about you. You look down, fashionista, baby. You done jump from what last time I said, executive producer. And this can all happen in a month. That's not unreal, because these people that are down there recruiting, these things are happening while you sleep. Your phone is going on while you sleep. Okay? We done seen that happen. We know in a month or two, you can rock off. I mean, you can rank up like crazy. And we've heard about it. We know people that have done that, because these kinds of things are happening. And they may not be happening in the way that I'm describing it, but they're happening. Okay? So we need to make it happen. How? Looking down. All right? Every time I'm talking about this, I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about G. I'm talking about you. Because how do you grow? You grow by growing everybody else. How do we grow? How do we make money? We make money by helping you make money. I'm trying to help you make money. That's the only way I make money. No, and that's not the only way I can make money. But I can make money in the mall and selling jewelry, and that's a lot of hard work, a lot of hard hours, and that's fine. And that works, right? But this money I'm talking about now, this is that unearned income I'm talking about. This is that crazy money. This is that money that people can't begin to understand. They can't begin to fathom, because it's crazy. You don't understand this, but this is real, people. This is real. And I'm not asking you to make some crazy investment. I'm not asking you to do anything out of the norm. I'm asking you to sell 3 to 4 pieces of jewelry a day. Reinvest it. Teach your people that you talk to the exact same thing. Powerful. Now watch this. You've just been equipped to get past your fears, see the simplicity of this business, and make every dream come true. Rock your business like a Bling boss. I'm done. Do I have any questions? All right. Let me see if I can see where I might have some questions.
I just want to say thank you. You broke this down to where if a person sells 3 to 4 pieces a day. So my question to everyone on here, do you feel that's unrealistic? Because right now, yes, because Paparazzi year, it's getting ready to come to a close for this particular season, but it's getting ready. Go ahead and get in the pattern of doing it now. So 3 to 4 pieces a day, whether it's a live, whether you go ahead and do a home party, whether you post a few pictures. 3 to 4 pieces a day is not an unrealistic goal for a jewelry store. And if you choose to wait for your one time a week going live and generate all of that for it, you are, well, I won't say you're putting yourself in jeopardy, because this business is about consistency and going on every day with it. And so by doing that, you have shown us how not to take money from the household and how we can turn around and implement that and put over into the business. And so I think that everybody on here can do 4 pieces a day. Sit that money aside, be disciplined, and just, then that means your paycheck and everything, you just keep doing with your paycheck what you've been doing. You just start reinvesting the money that you're bringing in from the jewelry. Anybody else have anything that they want to add? Any clarity? I appreciate you guys with the thank yous. But this is really about teaching this to everyone that we bring on board and breaking it down. So you just made it extremely reachable.
Yeah, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of being able to share this with the people. And no matter where you are, you look down and you start over. Forget about what you've done. Forget about what has worked, what hasn't worked, or what hasn't worked, I should say, and move forward with this strategy. It will work. It will work. All right, so I'm going to start recording since I don't have any questions. Those that said thank you, you're very welcome. Those that are in the replay, please watch this and let it absorb into your spirit. If you have any additional questions, reach out to us, and we'll try to answer as much as possible. Again, this is our attempt to make this as simplistic as possible. Paparazzi has set up an extraordinary business opportunity, and we have to take the advantage of it. So I wanted to start here. This is Starting Your Empire Part 1. Run your business like a big boss. And I'm going to come with a Part 2. So some things to come. We're going to talk to you about taxes and talk to you about some other things, other ways to make money. And so I'm going to put some more stuff together. I need to get a little more proficient with these slideshows, but at least hopefully I'll be able to write it out so you have something to fall back on if you forget or you're excited about what I'm saying right now and then later you forget. So I want to make sure you got a hard copy of something to fall back on, and you understand what we're trying to achieve here. So thank you for joining. Thank those that joined on the replay. And then, again, if you have any questions, please reach out, and we'll start the video.
Thank you, honey.
All right. Have a good night.